Hello folks, let me get this pulled up here. Please join Guilford County Democratic Party Issues/Rise Piedmont for our next book discussion of The Red and the Blue, the 1990s and the Birth of Political Tribalism by Steve Kornacki. We will meet 7 p.m. on Monday, February 17th, 2020 at Scuppernong Books in downtown Greensboro, North Carolina. And this is hosted by Guilford County Democratic Party, High Point Democrats, and Scuppernong Books. Now, guess who actually went to this event? Me. Guess who thought, okay, well, let me play out the story for you. Okay, so it was a beautiful day here in Greensboro, right? You know, everything was right. It didn't take all day for it to warm up like it usually does here in the winter. It's like, you go from like 29 up to like mid 50s, but it takes all day for it to happen usually. No, today it was like in the mid 50s by like lunchtime today. It's a beautiful day. Sun, sunshine, blue skies, all that stuff. Driving in to downtown Greensboro tonight, very, very smooth ride down the Bryan Boulevard Expressway. Even had the cruise control on. This was like 6:15, 6:30 on a Monday evening, right? Get down there, and I had my windows open for a little while, and then get on the expressway, and my turned the AC on actually, and I was in short sleeves, and even now I'm still in short sleeves because it's taken it's only get down to like the low 40s tonight. So very, very nice weather right now here in the Tar Heel State. Okay, so I go to an event tonight, and let me try and build up the story. So go down, get in the parking garage, and park, and then walk over to Scuppernong Books. Okay, I walk in, and I've been to this bookstore before, and they have a little room in the back that can seat probably about 50 people or so for authors to come in and do book talks and that sort of thing, book discussion. Well, I ask, I get maybe halfway through the store, and there's a nice young lady who asked me, can she help me with anything? I say, yeah, I'm looking for Steve Kornacki event. And she says, oh, well, they're actually up front in the little they have this little, it's like a window. It's like a window room. You're surrounded on three sides by windows, and then on the other side, it's a step up into like a little window, an enlarged windowsill. Okay, hope you got me on this. So I say, oh, wow, like I'm really, because I look at the space and it's awfully small, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, like I'm not just going to hear Steve Kornacki discuss his book, which is, oh jeez, I gotta get up. Okay, excuse me. Okay, his book is, I don't know if you can, yeah, it's a thick one too. It's like over 400 pages, right? So, I, look up front and I'm like, oh my gosh, like not only am I going to hear Steve Kornacki discuss his book, but like I'm going to be sitting at a very, in a very small round table with him, and actually be able to meet with him and ask him questions, and just he'll ask me questions. It'll be like something I can really tell hopefully maybe a future girlfriend or something. Sweep her off her feet, right? Okay, so I start walking to the front of the store, And as I'm walking, I'm looking at the little windowsill room, and I keep looking, and I see a lot of and I see a few people that could meet Kornacki's profile, because Kornacki is a fairly young guy. He's in about 40, maybe, and I see some people who look about 40, late 30s, early 40s, white, couple white men, early 40s. So I keep walking, and I get to the room, and then I'm like, wait a minute, where's Steve Kornacki? I look around the room. I see two elderly ladies, probably in their 60s. One lady, probably in her mid 40s, who looks very, very liberal, I would say. Put it nicely. And then I see probably three white guys who are probably my age, or maybe a couple years older. Okay. And one of the guys was wearing a Bernie hat. And it's funny, but the Scuppernon Books right now is right next to the Michael Bloomberg office, or as I call him, Michael Gulpberg, because Michael, when he was mayor of New York, he banned any business could not sell a beverage larger than 16 ounces. So it gets really hot in the summer in New York. Not as hot as South Florida, but it gets really hot. And if you're walking around, a little 16-ounce beverage ain't going to quench your thirst. I'm sorry, that, personally, I need like a 44-ounce Big Gulp, or a double Big Gulp, 64-ounce from 7-Eleven. But anyway, it dawned on me that Kornacki's not here. Wait a minute. And I'm like, oh boy. So I say, hey, I'm Bobby. I'm here for the Steve Kornacki book discussion, and then I make another mistake. They pass around a sheet and they ask everybody to put their name, email address, and I think I even got my phone number. It's like, oh no, oy. This is very, very awkward. And of course, it didn't take me long to find out that every single person at this book discussion is a Democrat. Eekkk. And I'm like, okay, well, I can leave right now, or maybe they'll surprise me tonight. Maybe we'll be able to have a really good, concrete, intelligent discussion about this book. Okay, maybe. Could it be possible? As my cousin Minnie says, could it be possible? So I try to give them a chance, and one of the first questions the coordinator of this group asks is, trying to think. Okay, she says that the superintendent of schools, first I'm thinking Mark Johnson, maybe. But then at the end she does the announcement again, because there are a couple people that join us late. She says, no, it's the superintendent of schools in the county, not the state, not the Republican. The Republican Mark Johnson at the state level. No, it's the county. Ooh boy. Then they ask, what does she say? Well, the superintendent wants all the high schools in Guilford County to register juniors and seniors to be able to vote, register to vote. Because I think in North Carolina, if you are going to turn 18 for the general election, you are actually able to vote at 17 in the primary, as long as you turn 18 by the November election date. I think that's the law. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. So then she goes around, she just asks everybody, can you volunteer to help give these high school students information? I'm thinking information on, oh boy, the Democrat candidates. I'm like, most of us shake our head, and and fortunately, the guy sitting right next to me with the Bernie hat, he says, nah, I'm very busy during the day, because that's the time when they were going to take the kids, like from 10 to 1 or something like that. And then the coordinator asked me, and I'm like, yeah, same as him. Busy during the day, sorry. But yeah, whenever I was asked a question, I remember it's a Democrat group and I'm the Republican, of course. My goal for the whole entire 90 minutes I was there, just never say anything good about the Republicans, never say anything bad about the Democrats, but just take the very, very middle ground. And the good news about this book is that Kornacki is very right down the middle. He doesn't give his opinion. He doesn't give analysis. He just states facts. Okay, he tells you, okay, Clinton is XYZ, Newt Gingrich is XYZ, and they keep going back and forth between what is happening in the Democrat Party, like in the 80s and 90s, and the Republicans in the 80s and 90s, right? And I gave that answer, one of the questions. Another one was like, do you see any solutions? I'm like, no, absolutely not, because there's so much free media out there now that people can easily, go see the Republican viewpoint or the Democrat viewpoint. And whenever, remember, this was a Democrat group, okay, so, this one lady who was like in her mid-40s was like, oh my gosh, the worst. Saying like, oh, I can't believe the Republicans are pro-life, and, what's wrong with abortion? What's wrong with, people have unplanned pregnancies and they don't want to have the kids, and it's like, oh my gosh, they have to keep them around. What's going on? And I'm just like, in my heart, I am like shaking. Okay, I'm like, oh boy, what she's saying. But my face, I try and remember like drama club from junior high or high school. Just try to be very poker face and extremely neutral, and you'll get through this, Bobby, okay? Now, some of you may be thinking, why didn't I just leave as soon as I realized Kornacki was not going to be there? I was hoping that maybe these Democrats would not be as bad as we think they are. But no, they're that bad and worse. It's, and one of the older ladies said, oh my gosh, these Trump supporters, they just blindly support the president. They don't, say, they don't pay any attention to his character and his values. And I'm just like, again, I do the poker face, or at least try to the best I can. I think the coordinator was kind of looking at me kind of funny a couple times, like, this guy, he's not really smiling or laughing with us. She might have been thinking I'm a Republican, and I am, but I was like, just trying to get through this. This one lady was like, and I'm just like, wait a minute. In my heart, I'm saying, well, what about Obama's character, huh? What about his, cursing and smoking weed and all this, all this stuff, give me a break, lady. And then it was like, and then at the very end they started talking up Medicare for all, and this elderly lady was like, what the Republicans don't understand is it's not going to cost anything. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? And so, one person left. He was actually one person came in. He was a guy, I think, from India. Talked about a group called Cometa, which is much more of a moderate book discussion. I might even check it out sometime. But he promoted the group. Was there for from about, we started right at 7, so from about 7:30 to about 8:30 or so, he was there course, some of the questions was like, I think I know, but is everybody here a Democrat? And everybody just kind of, I sort of, again, poker face sort of said, did one of those kind of lie and just, ugh. And then one of the coordinators said, oh no, we're not going to get any Republicans this event. We never do. And I was like, really? And again, trying to stay as poker face as possible, but the Indian guy left at about 8:35, and then of course the very liberal 40-something lady, she started talking again about Medicare for all and how good it is, blah blah blah. The Republicans just don't understand, and blah 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 blah, blah. Okay, and then I listened to her banter for about a couple minutes. I start standing up, packing up, and I gotta get out of here is what I said. I didn't say it like, I gotta get out of here, I gotta get out of here. No, I said, I gotta get out of here. I try to say it as, neutral as possible, but that was the point of my heart couldn't take it anymore, and I cracked a little bit, Yeah, I gotta get out of here, so I left, and oh boy, what an evening. But I just, of course, you can say, oh Bobby, you should have read the announcement a little more carefully. And then another thing too was I look at, I watch the local news every day on TV. Most days it's even like, it's like at least maybe not just one newscast, but 2 different channels of local news a lot of times. And I should have known because there was no media coverage at all of Steve Kornacki coming to Greensboro. I should have known. And I got the county library copy of the Red and the Blue. Okay, I was able to get it very easily. As soon as this event was announced like a couple weeks ago, I was able to get that thing like 3 days after the announcement. I should have known, wait a minute, getting this book is way too easy. And just before I record this video tonight, I go to the public library and see if anybody has requested this book. Nobody has. 0 request. I should have known. I should have known. Oh boy. So no. Here the tricky part is Scuppernong Books put their name on this event as a sponsor. I'm thinking to myself, it's just so confusing. But at the same time, I should have known that 2 Democrat groups were sponsoring this event too. I should have said, okay, 2 is great. Go back to 3rd grade math, right? 2 is greater than 1, little Bobby. Okay, remember that. Boy, been duped. I've been duped. The good thing about this is that this event was free. Parking was free. The only thing, was gas. I probably had to, but a little less than a gallon, so probably only a couple dollars worth of gas. Okay, but it was 3 hours of my time I'll never get back though. But then again, it was a memorable experience, and I guess in a way I'm glad I went, because now I know never ever go to a book discussion event where 2 Democrat groups are sponsoring and there are no other conservative groups that are sponsoring it, right? And one of the others, but something I picked up was one of the members asked, does anybody know the Republicans have a book club around here? And I tried to again go poker face and just be like, I don't know. No, the answer is no. But I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell you that. No. But that gives me kind of an idea. I mean, right now I'm crazy busy with work and my college classes and trying to keep up with 2 YouTube channels, right? But yeah, that would be something that I would consider in the future. Because, Well, there are two ideas that I have, and they're both from the local Democratic Party, believe it or not. One is the book club. Because right now in this county, you just have the county party meets once a month, and then you have this lunchtime meeting once a month, and that's just listen to a speaker talk for an hour and have lunch at Kickback Jack's on New Garden Road. Okay. But you don't have any other events to draw new people into the party. So, a couple ideas would be a book club, because I saw how effective the Democrat book club was tonight at just, everybody was, propping up their candidate in the primary and talking about how good Medicare for all is and how good abortion is and all these things. I'm like, we could be doing that at the county for the Guilford County Republican Party. That'd be a good thing. Of course, I'd have to start reading a lot more though, because this book, this is like the first book I'm reading cover to cover in like a couple of years at least. So I really got to get out there, go to the library, the used bookstore, what have you, look on Amazon, wherever, yard sales, free libraries, little libraries, kind of libraries, and just go out there and start researching books to have a book club. And then you got to find a space, and well, maybe the headquarters or something would be a thing to do. So there you go. Right. Another idea, the Democrat Party also does this, is generally, I think once a month, maybe a couple Fridays a month, or one Friday a month, the local Democratic Party, they go somewhere for pizza and then they have trivia. A nice sort of fun, inexpensive way, to get together with fellow people and of love-alike cause, but more of a fun, non-pressure way of growing the party. You know what I mean? Anyway, I think that's all I gotta say. I am the duped conservative pelican tonight. Bye-bye.